So his testimony today was actually a little risky. And even though this was just a preliminary hearing, prosecutors can use everything Meadows said against him at trial. And here's the thing, George, Meadows, he's not even a particularly good witness for himself. His testimony today was basically, yes, the president of the United States did ask me to set up a call trying to overturn the election in Georgia, but I don't remember a whole lot about the details. There was a lot of I don't know and I don't remember. So I'm not sure that if this case goes to trial, a jury is going to credit that testimony if Meadows takes the stand.
Let's talk about the risks of a trial, because we now we know that per the calendar we won't get a Trump trial before Super Tuesday, but we will likely, because the speedy trial rules, get a trial of some of these other people like Meadows. So Meadows has asked for a speedy trial. Jeffrey Clark, the former DOJ official, has as well. David Schaefer, who is one of the, I believe he's one of the fake electors. Sean Still and Kathy Latham. Kathy Latham was the one who was Coffee County's election chair, who helped with getting into those voting machines. They've all asked for a speedy trial. So let's say those trials happen later on this year. If those people get convicted, any of them, how does that impact Trump's trial? He hasn't yet asked for a speedy trial, and he probably won't. But how would a conviction of any of those people, especially like a Meadows or any of those people, impact Donald Trump?
It would have a negative impact. The only advantage of them going first is that Trump would get to see what the evidence is and be able to better prepare his defense. That's why prosecutors love to charge all 19 people in the same case, in the same trial. But other than that, Trump is actually majorly disadvantaged by these other cases going first. We have some defendants here like Jeffrey Clark and Mark Meadows. They're trying to move the case to federal court. Others like Sidney Powell and Ken Chesebro, they claim they want to go to trial right away. Prosecutors like RICO cases because they allow them to tell this complete story of how the crime went down and bring in all these co-conspirators, but this also makes them quite complicated. For example, all 19 defendants would be able to cross-examine every witness in the trial if they're all tried at the same time. So, Joy, this is why this trial is going to be long and complicated, and why Fannie's prosecution will almost certainly happen after the election. But just to be clear on what I think Meadows' real goal is here, he knows he's likely to lose, but what he's angling for is this jury pool. If the case actually is moved to federal court, the jury pool is much wider. It contains more white people and more people who live in the suburbs, which I think Meadows and some of his co-defendants view as a friendlier jury than if it's tried in Fulton County. And the other big difference is if he's successful in this motion, which again I don't think he will be, but if he wins, this trial isn't going to be on TV. Federal trials, federal criminal trials aren't televised. If the trial goes to, if this case goes to trial in Fulton County, it's on TV every day.
It's on TV. And if it's on TV, I think it's actually good for the country because it'll be like a mini version of what will happen with Donald Trump. We can see the evidence, and people, who may be skeptical will be able to see it. So I think a lot of people are rooting for it to be in Fulton County because we really want to see it. Paul Butler, thank you very much for all of that great clarity. And still ahead, a white gunman armed with an AR-15